What do I think about the peace deal between Iran and Saudi Arabia? It could be good on one hand if it means that it could end the war in Yemen. But on the other hand, I think it might mean that Iran is just going to withdraw their support for the Houthis and other rebel groups in Yemen and just kind of leave it to the Saudis. The problem is Saudis, they're very pro-normalization and Iran isn't. That's why Iran is demonized and that's why Saudis are. And by normalization, I don't just mean Israel. I mean with the imperialist geopolitical line in general. So it depends on what it results in. If it results in Saudi Arabia backing off on some things, it will be good. If it results in Iran backing off on the few good things that they do internationally, it will be bad. I think China's interest in that is mostly because they want to find a way to make the Saudi and the Iranian market more convenient for them, which obviously those two countries having better ties are going to do. It could be good, it could be bad, depends on how it goes. I haven't looked at the details, so I'm not exactly sure. If it moves Saudi Arabia more away from the US towards like the block of countries that are still theocratic, not great, but at least they oppose Israel and shit, it could be better. But overall, I don't think it's really going to be a meaningful change. It's not going to end the war in Yemen. There's no fucking way. Yeah, I mean, they're reopening embassies, but they're also reopening the potential for dialogue and shit. Do I think the NPA will win in the Philippines? No. How long has it been? Like 50 years? Obviously not. I mean, I know that they run some places, but I don't think they'll win. I think the best that they can hope for is like getting a Colombia-style peace deal eventually that will allow them to retain some level of political power and municipal power, but they're probably not going to win. No fucking way. Like how is that even possible? And that would also require the Philippines electing a left-winger who's up for doing that. Do you see that as happening? I don't fucking see that as happening ever. Philippine voters fucking love the reactionaries for some reason. I don't know anything about the Philippines, so shouldn't take my word on it though. Best they can hope for is like a truce with the state that gives them some level of political power and allows them to retain like organizational power in the places where they already are the dominant group. Anything more than that, I don't think they could get. It needs to be like a Colombia-style peace deal. It's been like 50 years, you're not going to win at this point. I think they would be able to reach more people if they, just kind of allowed themselves to integrate a little bit, to give up a bit to the fucking liberals and the conservatives, because it's been 50 years. I mean, the Maoists did win in Nepal, and what they ended up doing was setting up liberal democracy where the Maoists are like the most popular party. So it is kind of weird how that all worked out. I mean, I think the Maoists in Nepal kind of realized that they would not be allowed to exist as like a Maoist communist state transitioning to socialism without at least having some semblance of like a liberal democracy to appease the international community. It would not be possible. They would get fucked by, they're a tiny country bordered by like some of the biggest geopolitical players in the world. What the fuck could they have done? So I don't blame them for it. At the end of the day, is not having like a constant civil war where they can be like the most popular political party and be a kind of libs is probably the best they could hope for without like a massive global like dominoes style revolution. What do I think of the Good Friday Agreement? Cringe, giving up, cringe. I think all the different groups of IRA had a lot more power than people realize, especially popularity among the population and shit, but whatever. People join the IRA because like literally, I've read tons of different stories about it, like Irish people in Northern Ireland especially, obviously only in Northern Ireland, when there was like unionist violence against them. The first time the British troops came in, for most of them, the first time ever seeing British troops, they were like, yay, they're here to protect us, finally. And what the British ended up doing is setting up fences around where they lived and basically keeping them in concentration camps and preventing the movement of Irish people to protect them. That's why people joined the IRA. That's why the IRA became so strong. That's why the IRA almost killed fucking Maggie, because they had massive support among the population, regardless of whatever the fucking normalizers and the scum tell you today. The liberal scum who sell Ireland to the colonizer today.